Hi, everybody. This week we are talking about prevention and health. And the question caregivers are asking is how to live well into my later years, how to live well into your later years. So many caregivers who are managing the health of an aging parent or a spouse eventually have this aha moment where they wonder, wow, I'm watching all this, taking care of my parents. I do not want to have my health go down that path. So what do I do? How do I live a long, healthy life? How do I live a longer life without a lot of health problems and without a lot of diseases? So we're here to talk about things you can do to live well into your later years. I'm Pamela D. Wilson. My website is PamelaDWilson.com. Please follow these videos here on my YouTube channel. Please like my YouTube channel. I have worked in the field of caregiving and aging for more than 20 years and have helped thousands of individuals and thousands of families. So part of how to live well into your later years is to begin asking yourself this question as early as possible in life. Now, we don't always think of doing that, right? Because if we haven't had an experience like watching an elderly parent or a grandparent or somebody in our family become sick, we don't realize that, wow, the body gets old and it gets sick and stuff happens. So sometimes it can take a personal experience for us to realize and say, wow, I don't want to be like that, or being sick really sucks, right? So the earlier you have this experience, the sooner you learn about preventative health, or the sooner you might take an interest about preventative health. Now, there's a lot of things out there besides health that affect, believe it or not, our mental and physical health. It's the neighborhood where we live, our family situation, our work, our income, access to having healthcare services, even learning about healthcare services, learning about health insurance and what that means and the importance of going to see a doctor. If we have had parents who have never gone to the doctor or who've never been sick, we just might never even consider that ourselves, right? Because sometimes we learn by seeing things that happen to other people or watching something on television, and then it strikes our head and say, man, maybe I should go check that out. But there's two components of healthcare, right? So there's medical care. There's also, believe it or not, dental care. You would be surprised how cavities and infections in your mouth can greatly affect your overall health. And so a lot of you are thinking, well, Pamela, yeah, I'm not sick. Why would I even go to the doctor or the dentist? Well, the answer is so that you don't get sick. The answer is prevention. So believe it or not, infections in your mouth, your teeth, your gums can affect other parts of your body. Now, nobody likes to go to the dentist. I don't either. But my parents, God bless them, did not teach me to take good care of my teeth when I was young. So at the age of 10 or 12, I went to the dentist. I had a mouthful of cavities. I'm like, how do I avoid this? Dentist is like, get your teeth cleaned every 6 months. So I've been really good about doing that all my life. And as a result, since the young age of 10 or 12, maybe I've only had one more cavity in my entire life because I am adamant about brushing my teeth every day and flossing and going to get my teeth cleaned every 6 months. So believe it or not, all of this prevention, which we have to get over the fear, right, of going to the dentist or the doctor, can prevent a lot of health problems. Now, a lot of you are saying, oh, dentists are expensive. I don't have the money. I can tell you there's probably a dental school in your area. And you can make appointments to get your teeth cleaned and get dental work at a dental school where dentists who have experience supervise students who want to become dentists. And so the costs are much lower. So there's no excuse. Check that dental care off your list today and make an appointment. Now, another thing, totally free, exercise, moving about, walking. If you want to stay healthy into your later years, being mobile is important. Because if you watch your parents or grandparents or older people, and you probably notice they have a lot of trouble getting around. They have what are called mobility problems, right? They have poor balance. Maybe they walk 10 feet and they get out of breath. Or, they've had a physical injury because they were inactive and they fell, and now they have more mobility problems. So when we get older, the reason that we need caregivers many times is because we can't live independently, right? Which means that we can't get to the grocery store ourselves, we can't shower safely, we can't get out and do things because we haven't. So it's kind of like practice, right? Walking is practice for staying physically active and being independent. That whole Nike thing, like just do it. If you don't do it, you're going to lose it. It's very true because being inactive is eventually going to lead to, for older adults, being able to get out less, becoming homebound, becoming isolated, and an increased likelihood of a fall, which means then that you need a walker or a wheelchair, or maybe you have to move into a care community. So being active avoids all of these physical things that can affect us when we're older. Now, for anybody, right, anything can happen out of the blue. Perfectly healthy people can have a heart attack or have something happen to them. But what I can tell you is if you exercise, you're more likely to avoid things like high blood pressure and heart disease and stroke and cancer and all of those chronic diseases. It's proven. It's not just Pamela saying this. It's proven in the research. So the guidance, if you want to stay healthy, is to take a preventative approach to health. Now, how many of you have set a goal, any kind of goal? Maybe you want to get a better job or you want to learn something. What's the fastest way to do that? Fastest way to do that is to seek education, and it's to find people who have already accomplished what you want to do, ask them how they did it, and learn from them, and then spend time with these people who can inspire you and give you hope and tell you, yes, you can do this. You can do this if you keep trying, right? If you practice. So if you want to be healthy, this means seeking education on health, spending time with people who are healthy, who exercise, who have an interest in health. Find an exercise buddy. Find people who have an interest in healthy foods. Give up all that junk food, the processed foods. Those don't do any good for your health. And make a lifestyle change. Now, it might be hard to make this change, but you can do it if you hang around with people who are doing it, right? Embrace the habits of healthy people. You, in 20 years or 30 years, will thank yourself for making this change because you'll be able to look back and say, oh my God, thank God I started to exercise 20 or 30 years ago, because people my age now who I'm seeing, my friends, they're having a lot of health problems or they can't get around. And because I made those changes, I am much more healthy. I am much more able to live the life that I want. Now, again, my experience with this is being a teenager and watching my mother in her 40s and 50s and 60s suffer from a lot of health problems. She was overweight. She smoked. She lived at a time where people didn't do preventative care. And as a result, she was sick all the time. And my thinking back then in my teens and my 20s was like, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to be like that. So for me, I had this blessing of seeing the effect of bad health at a very early age. So, but that doesn't mean that if you don't see this until later, till your 40s or 50s, it doesn't mean that you can't still make health changes or lifestyle changes, because you can. At any age, you can exercise. You can become physically stronger. You can do things that can change your health for the better. So you just need to be around people who can inspire you to do this and who offer education. There's a ton of information, free information on my website, PamelaDWilson.com. A lot of information and hundreds of videos here on my YouTube channel. So go to my website, PamelaDWilson.com, spend some time there, look at my support tab. There's free courses. There's a library. I have a podcast called The Caring Generation where I answer questions caregivers ask, much like all of these videos. So if you want to change your life, change your health for the better, information is here. All you have to do is click the button, spend a little bit of time, do some investigation. I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Thanks for hanging out here. Thanks for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you again in another video.